Genesis 4 underlines the importance of worship, humanity's capacity and need to worship God. Both personal and public worship are mentioned in this chapter. Genesis 4 begins with a worship, but it ends in death. Brother against brother, man against God, and concludes with humanity heading to total depravity. Graphic scenes of the fulfillment of the curse fills the entire chapter. However, Genesis 4 offers a glimpse of hope because of God's amazing grace, literally and totally unmerited. The birth of Adam and Eve's firstborn son, Cain, fills them with wonder and hope that he would be the fulfillment of God's promise of Genesis 3:15. Eve is ecstatic. She said, "I have gotten a man-child with the help of Jehovah." She believed Cain is the promised seed who will defeat the work of Satan. Instead, Cain ripped the family apart and take human sin one step further, a cold-blooded murder. Was Cain jealous because he believed he was the chosen one and not Abel? Definitely he was angry at God for not accepting his worship. Why did God reject Cain's offering but accepted Abel's? The contrast between these two brothers' sacrifices is not what they brought, but the quality of what they brought. Abel brought the best, the firstborn of the flock and the fat portions. Cain simply brought some of the fruit of the soil. That is, not the best, only what was available. So it's not the technical point about the content of their sacrifice, and that one sacrifice is righteousness by faith and the other by works. No, these two sacrifices reflect the worshipper's attitude and relationship with God. God expects us to give Him our very best. The focus of worship is eternally simple, that you offer the very best to Him. In His understanding, God offers Cain advice to change his attitude. And if he does, he will be accepted. If not, then sin is crouching at the door, and its desire is for you, God said. In his defiance, Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and became a restless wanderer. That's the meaning of the word, the lad of Nod. But God does not reject Cain. Although punished, Cain receives a mark of protection, a gift of God's grace. If you have fallen short of God's ideals, God still loves you. Come to Him. Well, if you are shocked by the brutality and the unrepentant heart of Cain toward God, compared to Lamech, Cain is insignificant. In Lamech, the sixth from Adam, humanity is accelerating to total anarchy and moral chaos. The genealogy of Cain in Genesis 4 reveals this deterioration, and Genesis chapter 6 to 9, the next lesson, will fully highlight this. However, the chapter concludes with a positive note. Eve announced the birth of Seth. God has appointed me another seed in place of Abel, for Cain killed him, she said. Despite the heartaches, God's promise is alive in her heart. Seth's son, Enos, begins a new line of genealogy that heads in the opposite direction. These descendants begin to call upon the name of the Lord. Here is a glimpse of a formal public worship. Whilst Genesis 4 began with a personal worship followed by the murderous act of Cain and the chilling selfishness of Lamech, chapter 4 ends with a positive note and hope: the public worship of Jehovah.